I was silent for 7 days. What happened changed me. There is a kind of silence that changes you forever. Not the peaceful kind, the painful kind. The silence that begins after disappointment, emotional exhaustion, unanswered prayers, and nights where your mind refuses to rest. I did not stay silent for 7 days because I was strong. I stayed silent because I was tired of chasing people, tired of over-explaining myself, tired of begging for clarity from those who only gave confusion. And honestly, part of me believed the silence would make everything worse. I thought I would feel forgotten, rejected, easy to replace. But something unexpected happened. The quieter my world became, the louder the truth started sounding inside me. I began noticing how much of my life was controlled by anxiety, emotional attachment, and the constant need to feel chosen by someone who kept giving me uncertainty instead of peace. The silence exposed things I spent years trying to avoid. Not just about them, about me. And maybe that is why you are here right now. Because sometimes God removes the noise before He reveals what is destroying your spirit. Sometimes the distance is not punishment. Sometimes it is protection. And what happened during those 7 days completely changed the way I see love, loneliness, healing, and myself. The day silence stopped feeling like punishment. There is a moment when your soul becomes too tired to keep chasing answers. You stop typing long messages. You stop checking if they watched your story. You stop replaying conversations in your head at 3 a.m. Not because you healed overnight, but because something inside you finally breaks. And strangely, that breaking point becomes the beginning of clarity. I stayed silent for 7 days, thinking it would hurt me. I thought the silence would make me feel forgotten, abandoned, invisible. But what scared me the most was realizing how much noise I had created just to avoid being alone with my own thoughts. The silence exposed everything: the anxiety, the emotional dependence, the fear of not being chosen. And when the noise disappeared, I started hearing something else. Not their voice, mine. Because sometimes God removes the distraction before He reveals the truth. And what happened on the second day completely changed the way I saw love, attachment, and myself. When you stop looking for signs, the truth starts revealing itself. The hardest part about silence is not missing someone. It is resisting the urge to search for proof that they still care. Your mind starts looking for hidden meanings everywhere. A late-night post, a song lyric, a random view on your profile. You convince yourself that every small movement means something because deep down, you are terrified of accepting what the silence might actually be saying. But after a while, something shifts. You begin to notice how exhausting it was to survive on crumbs of attention. You realize you were studying tiny signals because consistency never existed. Real love does not force you to become a detective. It does not leave you starving for reassurance every single day. And that truth hurts at first, because the silence stops protecting your illusions. It forces you to see people as they are, not as you hoped they would become. That was the moment I understood something dangerous. I had spent more time trying to be chosen than asking myself why I was begging for a place where I never truly felt safe. And what I discovered next was even harder to face. The part of you that only lived to be chosen begins to die. Nobody talks about how addictive emotional validation can become. You start shaping your entire life around being noticed, remembered, desired. Every message becomes a test. Every delay feels personal. Every moment of distance feels like rejection. Without realizing it, you slowly abandon yourself just to keep someone emotionally close. That is why the silence feels unbearable in the beginning. Because without constant reassurance, you are finally forced to meet the version of yourself that existed underneath the performance. The exhausted version. The insecure version. The version that believed love had to be earned through patience, sacrifice, and suffering. And during those 7 days, something painful started happening. The person I was trying so hard to keep stopped feeling like the center of my world. Not because I stopped caring instantly, but because I started seeing how much of myself I had lost while trying to stay emotionally available for someone who gave me uncertainty instead of peace. That realization changes you. Because once you see the difference between love and emotional survival, you can never unsee it. And that is when the silence becomes spiritual. God does not fill the void. First, He teaches you how to sit inside it. Most people pray for God to remove the pain immediately. They want answers, signs, relief, closure. But sometimes God stays quiet because the silence itself is the lesson. Not to destroy you, but to show you what you keep trying to escape from. For years, I thought the emptiness inside me was proof that something was missing. So I filled it with attention, conversations, emotional attachment, and the constant need to feel important to someone. But when all of that disappeared, the emptiness remained. And for the first time, I could not run from it. That was terrifying, because the void forces honesty. It reveals how much of your identity was built around being emotionally needed. It exposes the fear of being alone with your own mind. And slowly, in that uncomfortable silence, something sacred begins to happen. You stop asking God to send someone back, and you start asking Him to rebuild the parts of you that were abandoned long before that relationship even began. The silence no longer feels empty then. It starts feeling holy. And by the 7th day, I realized I was no longer waiting to be rescued. After 7 days, I did not return to the same place inside myself. I thought silence would bring me answers about another person. Instead, it exposed the war happening inside me. The fear of abandonment, the need for validation, the habit of confusing attention with love. And somewhere between the quiet nights and the moments when nobody reached out, I started becoming someone I had not seen in a long time. Myself. Not the version of me that begged to be understood. Not the version that kept shrinking to avoid losing people. The real version. The one that no longer wanted forced connections, mixed signals, or temporary affection disguised as love. And the strangest part was this. The more peace I found within myself, the less desperate I became for someone else to fill the emptiness. I stopped needing immediate replies to feel valuable. I stopped measuring my worth by who stayed or who left. The silence taught me something comfort never could. Some people disappear so God can show you how much of yourself disappeared trying to keep them. Those 7 days changed me because I finally understood this. Healing begins the moment you stop chasing what keeps disturbing your soul and start protecting the peace God was trying to give you all along.